Hi everyone. My name is Gaurav Sethi and working in CSG. And we are just kicking off a meetup. So uh, today's topic is Anypoint Monitoring on hybrid servers. So basically, if we will see on the Cloud Hub, the monitoring feature is by default available. We are able to see the monitorings, how to work on that. We can see Cloud Hub default. But if we are talking about on-prem server or we are going for the hybrid servers, this feature is not available by default, and we are facing some issues to connect the monitoring part, connect the monitoring plugins. So we will discuss this, and this session is not only the PPT session. So we will demonstrate, we will go through that, we will just download this Anypoint monitoring and we will run this application end to end. Okay. So next is first we will just see who's our moderators. Just coming to next, I'm the speaker here for you today, and the moderators are Rajesh and Prithvi. Rajesh, you want to introduce yourself? Prithvi?
Yeah, so I have been working with Mulesoft like around some 6 years, and before that I was in Oracle server space, purely into integration from the day one of my career. So yeah, I'm still learning multiple things from our community, from various meetups, and we are here today to learn about Anypoint monitoring from Garo. Pretty much that's it from my side.
Thank you.
Uh, yes, Gaurav. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all guys today as part of the meetup. Thank you. Thanks, Gaurav, for organizing this and walking through us the endpoint monitoring. Yeah, myself, Rajesh. I have around 16 years of experience, and yeah, I have worked on multiple deployments, different deployment topologies. I lead this Bangalore meetup and Finland meetups. And today the topic will be interesting the hybrid environment where you deploy your monitoring tool you visualize as part of the Anypoint platform. Yeah, we can jump into the section. Thanks, Gaurav.
Thank you. So, guys, before going to the topic, there are few links. Community details are there. If you want to register meetups, we should go for meetups.mulesoft.com, or official trainings platforms are training.mulesoft.com. Same for PKO link, Mulesoft forums, all the blogs, Anypoint platform. So these all links are provided. At the end of session, we will share this in the chat window as well, and we will share this PPT as well. So you guys can take the benefit of these links. Okay, going to the next. Yeah. So before starting into the theoretical part, we will just understand what is monitoring, why we are using monitoring. Anyone wants to explain? Anyone use the monitoring? Anyone of the guys? Okay, no worries. So any point?
Garo, you seem to be on mute.
Sorry. So anyone wants to like explain what is any point monitoring before going to the next?
Hey Gaurav, hi Abhishek here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, like what I understand from monitoring is like it is like a place, a dashboard where we can see the stacks for the application which is deployed. Like we can see the CPU utilization and we can see other statistics or status for the those application in monitoring.
Yeah, great. Anyone wants to add something?
Yeah, hi, this is Ranjan. So, in monitoring, you can monitor the of the your software as well as network and operating system. So, we can the threshold also, and based on that, the team can get the alert of that, and then they can jump for of that particular things. So monitoring basically provide the end-to-end monitor whatever you want to set up in terms of application, in terms of hardware, in terms of software failure, and you can see the health of the um, application. Yeah.
Okay, great. And your nails? Great, guys. So before going to the next step, guys, I have shared one link with the chat in the chat window to download the Anypoint standalone server. You can just download. Meanwhile, we are just going to the presentation. Once the presentation will complete, we will kick off the demonstration. So you guys can be ready with your download part. Okay. So Anypoint monitoring is a visualization form where we can see the end-to-end status of our application. That can be that can be depend on our inbound request, like how many requests we are getting for this application, how many requests are taking time to proceed that, what is the graph of that, how many requests are getting failed, how many requests are getting passed, what is the average response time, what is the average request time. So these all details regarding the inbound request and outbound request we can identify, as well as if we want to see the health of that request, health in the sense like the performance, like what is the response, average response time, how much heap memory it is used, how much CPU utilization is happening. So these all things we are covering into this monitoring part. So a part of this, if we will say in the monitoring, we can identify all the status of the application, worker size, vCores, these things also we can see into the monitoring. And the monitoring, why it is basically required, if we will say if we will see the use of this monitoring, the operations team and development team, the both are using the monitoring tool to identify the specific issue. Before going to the solution, we should know what is the issue. To identify the issue, operation team and development team both will use the monitoring tool. So using that, we will just proceed for this application. So the first point is like Anypoint monitoring provide the visibility into integrations across your app networks. So how many applications are there? So if we want to see all the visibility for this integration, we can see. Second, the monitoring tool provide the feedback from Mule flows and components in our network. And the third thing is the same, like the operations and development team use the monitoring tool to diagnose the issue and prescribe the solution based on the behavior, like what is the negative impact, what is the digital performance on that. And we are coming to the next. Yep. So what is the overview of that? The same we have discussed regarding the monitoring part. Coming to the next. What is the features of Anypoint monitoring? So Anypoint monitoring is standard method for Mule application. So and API performance, so we can make quickly identify and resolve the issues. And all the customers receive the fundamental monitoring capability with their subscriptions, and customers subscribing with like different tiers to get the storage. And there are few use cases which will provide the specific requirement of monitoring tool, that we can go into this docs.mulesoft.com/monitoring. There are multiple use cases defined. We can go for each and every use case to identify the actual features. So this is the dashboard where we can see we have different kind of tabs. If you want to see the total inbound request, outbound request, memory utilization, CPU utilization, we can go through the monitoring dashboard. And before going to that, like, can anyone explain like uh, for on-prem, how we are on-prem or hybrid servers, how we are going for the monitoring? for if we will discuss about Cloud Hub, we can see in the Cloud Hub we have the monitoring tab is available, and from that monitoring tab we can go through that and we can see the monitoring option. But by default on-prem servers we don't have anything. So how you guys are validating the monitorings, how you guys are doing the performance or infrastructure information, how you are getting?
We can't even use Splunk or Dynatrace for that.
Okay, a part of any third parties? No issues, we will do now.
In Anypoint platform, we can do that. We need to do some kind of configuration to enable for on-prem. Like we will not get it direct, if what I understand. We need to do some configuration to enable on-prem applications in the Anypoint monitoring tool.
Yes, exactly. So we have to enable that configuration. Once the configuration will be enabled, post that we are able to get the monitoring information. Okay, so guys, now we are kicking off the our process for the demonstration part. We will I hope everyone have downloaded the Anypoint standalone server. Guys, can we proceed, or are you downloading the standalone server, guys?
You can respond. Yeah, we are getting responses to it.
Okay, great.
So Gaurav, today we are just considering the on-prem only, right? The standalone on-prem server, not the hybrid one like the other clouds and all.
No, 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 not the other clouds. We will just use on-prem. We will take this on-prem server only, individual.
Okay.
So I hope everyone downloaded. So I'm just copying the same thing, renaming this with Meetup node. So this is the standalone server which we have downloaded. And just copy the Meetup node from the extracted part. So what is the first task we have to do is we will just validate as this node is working or not. We have to kick off the we have to start the server first. Yes, the server is started. This is the PID. Stopping the server again. It's validated successfully. So server is up and running means server is validated. It is correct. So before going to the next step, guys, can we create one hello world application? This is a very simple application which I have created. This is just one listener as logger request initiated, and we are just transforming one message with the ID is equal to 200. Status will be okay. So we have 2 minutes, guys. You can create this application simultaneously. We will proceed for the next step. Guys, please ping in the chat window once it's done, once Hello World application is created. I haven't done anything, Santosh, yet. I have just downloaded the standalone server. You can see I have just downloaded the standalone server, rename this with the meetup node, and then I went to the terminal. I have verified this server is working or not. So first I have triggered the command mule start inside the bin folder, and then I have seen that PID is created successfully, means the server is started successfully without any application. Once it's created successfully, I have stopped the server. I not did anything yet. I have just verified this server is up and running or not.
So that is the standard procedure for the on-prems or the hybrid ones, to just check your runtime version and runtime compatibilities, everything, whether your runtime works fine or not.
Okay, one more thing I will just explain if few members are new. For that, I will just explain once you will download that standalone server, what you have to do. There are multiple folders in that. So whenever we have to start the server or we have to stop the server, we will always go to the bin folder. Inside the bin folder, you can see we have several commands. So this is the command mule. So we are just running /mule start or stop or restart or status. If we want to know the status or we want to know the server status, we want to start the server or restart the server, this is the command. The same command is applicable for Windows as well, but it will be from the command line terminal. Okay. I hope everyone created the Hello World application. Now you can create the jar file of this Hello World application. Either you guys can run this application, it will create automatically will create the jar file in the target folder, or the second option is you guys can use maven command. Maven command I have pinged in the chat window. You guys can use for the same location. Okay, once the jar file is ready for this application, what we have to do, we will deploy this application into a standalone server. We can see there are different folders. So where we have to push a jar file, we will go to the app folders. Inside this, you can see this folder is empty now. We can deploy now or we can deploy later as well. This is on our hand. The next step is, I hope everyone have a Cloud Hub account. Please sign in with your Cloud Hub account. Go to the Runtime Manager tab. Go to the servers. Click on Add Server and give the server name, which is suitable for you, and copy the command. We have copied this command. Either you can copy from here or just click on the copy command. Close this. So we will copy that command and now we will run this server first. The server is up and running. So inside the bin folder, the command which we have copied, we will paste that command and we will run this. Once we will run this, the Mule agent will unpack and it will create the server for us. Okay, we can see Mule agent configured successfully. We need to configure our Mule agent. Once it is configured successfully, we can see the meetup node is created successfully. Guys, up to here, any doubt or want to stop here for 2 minutes? Please ping in the chat.
Gaurav, can you repeat that command part? Which command we copied?
Okay, so go to the add server,
Yeah.
give the server name like you have given
Okay.
meetup node, whatever it is there. Just copy the command. This command will generate automatically.
Okay.
Just copy this command and run this command into bin folder. Is Mule agent configured for everyone, guys? Guys, please reply in the chat window so it will be more interactive. We will get to know we are able to understand or not. Great. So we can see meetup node is created successfully. We are restarting the server. Let's restart it. We can see it's now running. Once our server node is running, we will just go to the server node. If you already push the application into the apps folder before, it will display here. If it is not, then we are going to deploy the application. Meetup node. We'll select where we have to do inside the meetup node. Meetup node application. So we will not confuse what is the server name and what is the application name. I have given the application name as meetup node application and the server name is meetup node. And when once you will once you will deploy this application, you should see the server name inside the deployment target meetup node. And now I am selecting the file. Okay, the application.
You got a quick thing. You said if I put my application in the apps folder, it will automatically get deployed. Is it?
If yes, if it is not, then we need to deploy this application manually.
Okay. So if we want to deploy multiple projects, so we can put that in the apps and then restart our server. Then it will automatically get deployed.
Uh, for that, we have to do one manual setting. That will be the anchor file will be there. We have to create that anchor file and we have to update the configuration for multiple applications. Like here, I have already put this application and it will start automatically and then it will be come. But if it is not updating the configuration, like in the previous version, it was coming, but in new version, it is not coming automatically. So we are just updating this.
So for single file, it's not. We are not doing any configurations, and it's working fine. This is what I'm saying. For multiple, we have to do some sort of configuration.
Yes,
Okay, could
but
you
that
please
is also
Mhm.
that is also depending on the version. Like earlier, the previous version it was there, but in the new version which we have currently in our Mule standalone for latest version, we are not able
4.4? You are saying.
4.4, 4.3 and 4.4
Okay, so 4.3 and 4.4, we have to do the configuration.
configuration. But earlier in 4.2 only it was there. Like the
Okay,
application is,
so mhm. And what type of configurations we have to do? Any idea right now?
yep. I will provide that configuration file to you.
Mhm. All
So,
right.
yep. I'm just stopping this application.
So how many applications we could deploy in one go?
That depends on our license.
On-prem, I'm saying.
Yeah, depends in the evaluation part or server part. Like how much license you are purchasing for this for on-prem hybrid. If we are going for that, based on the license, we can deploy the application. How much V course we are taking based on that.
We have to do some sort of calculations and then deploy. Is it?
Exactly.
That's interesting. Because on Cloud Hub we don't have bulk deployment stuff. We can
Yeah.
use CI/CD and all one by one pipeline stuff, but
Yes.
on-prem we just found like we have bulk deployment options there.
Okay. I will post this. I will share the configuration file with you.
Perfect.
We have selected the application jar file insight. If you need insight, you can enable that. Or if you want to give any properties, Cloud Hub properties, you can provide. And just deploying the application.
Right now we are not doing anything related to monitoring. We are just create the application, build the server, create the application, and deploying it.
We are after deploying the application, we will do the configuration for
Yeah.
monitoring.
Okay. The next step will be the monitoring. Yeah.
Yes, because the reason is once application is there, we can see at least number of requests there. We are getting the requests or not. If directly we will do the configuration, there is no sense.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Gaurav.
For this application, guys, if we want to see the logs, we can go to logs folder inside a node. So this is the application log and this is Mule E log. This application is started successfully. If you want to see the logs, we can see the logs of this application. Now the next step is I will just test 8083. This application is running, working fine. Going to the application, going for the insight. It is just taking time to receive the logs for this specific transaction. We will get the insights. Now we are going to, we can see the insights are there. We can see the transactions. At 2 times we have hit this request and 2 times we are get the transactions. Now going to the monitoring. For this monitoring, we are selecting the environment first. Sandbox or design environment. R is sandbox environment. For this sandbox, we will see the resource type. Meetup node is not available. We have Insight or node 2. Different servers are there, but Meetup node is not available. For this, now we will go to the settings tab. We will just check that supported runtimes are available for this. And now we will click the download am.zip. And we will download the AM setup. AM setup is downloaded successfully. We'll go to the downloaded setup where we have downloaded this. Unzip this setup. Unzip this setup. Copy this setup. And paste this inside our meetup node. And yeah, I hope we are on same page. We'll go for next step, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Deepak, it is same. Like it's the same AM setup. There is no difference. The both are 2.5.11. The same setup is there. We can take anything. Okay. Just remove for clarification. We'll just extract here. Go inside this. Copy the AM meetup node. Removed and pasted. Depends on the versions. It will be a standardized one only. Now we'll go to the AM folder. Inside the AM again we have one folder, that is the bin folder, and we will install this Anypoint Monitoring plugin. /install. Do you want to use monitoring as a service? Yes. The setup is installed successfully. Once the setup is installed, we will restart our Mule server.
What is this password is all about?
This is our system password I have given it because I am not in sudo. So it is just asking for my system password.
When you say system, what does it mean?
My computer, my local computer password.
Okay, all right.
Gaurav, what will happen if you say use monitoring as a service as no? How does it differ?
If we will not use monitoring, then it will install the setup, but we will not be able to see the monitoring tab again. Like our server will not be visible. We are not able to see all the services for which we are doing this.
Okay, but the server will still be running fine with all the apps, but monitoring service itself won't be available.
Yes,
Okay.
but we can see the logs, everything we can see into the files. File system will be there. Inside the file, all the logs and everything will be there, but it will not be visible as a monitoring service.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, our server is restarted successfully. I hope everyone on the same page. Guys, please ping in the chat or please let me know if still some doubt is there. Are we good, guys? Okay, good. So once it is done, then we need to set up this anypoint monitoring. We'll just come to AM. We have one file, that is the setup file. We will just run this setup file. Yep, the setup is completed successfully, and this Logstash has provided the URL. We are connected, but this service is not yet started. To start this service, again we have a command for this. AM services dot start. We will start the AM service now. The AM service is started successfully. Coming to one step back and restarting the server.
When we start our on-prem servers, this monitoring application will not start automatically. We have to manually start and stop it again.
Yeah, we have to manually start and stop.
Oh, so
Sorry, stop
once we
and start.
start our server, and if you want to use it, we have to start it, right?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Once we are stopping this, no need to restart. But when we are starting this, we need to restart the server.
But whenever you start your server, that time it won't automatically start, right? You need to explicitly start this AM service.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is generated.
Any specific reason why we have to start two things differently, or it's a just of plugins of service and we have to start and stop
This
separately?
this is a different service. We
Mhm.
install this as a plugin.
Okay.
So this is individual to our server. Like if we will stop this, our server will not impact on this. The thing is, we are not sending our log to file bit. And once the logs are not going to the file bit, it will not show into the logs will not shows into the monitoring.
Okay. So now you meant to say if we are using this monitoring service, our logs will be automatically shown over the Cloud Hub monitoring apps. This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
So once we will start this service, first we will validate the application. Application is working fine. Meetup node application is there. Uptime is 11 minutes 53 seconds. We can see the insight. No, Ashutosh, we can do for Windows as well. The same commands are there for Windows. A part of setup dot slash dot slash setup. It will be dot slash setup dot ps1. When we have triggered this command, dot install, right? When we are going to run this command in Windows also, this command will be there. Dot ps1 will be there at end. Install dot ps1, and same for the setup.
Okay, so Gaurav, just like if we install a service of this, we want to start our server whenever our system starts, we can also create a service for this also monitoring.
Yes.
So we don't need to actually do it manually again and again, right?
That could you please repeat your question,
Yeah.
Ashutosh?
So I wanted to know. So currently, what I've done is whenever my computer restarts, it will start the Mule server automatically since I've installed this as a Windows service.
Yes.
So can we do this for AM also? So we can make a service in the Windows and set a command over
Yes.
there. Whenever our computer restart, it will automatically restart the server and the
You can
service.
do this. You can do this. The best practice what you can do is you can create a service. Whenever the
Mhm.
Mule server will restart, it will automatically restart.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So a part of system start.
Yeah, Ashutosh, you can create a batch file. Okay, it's all about automation. once your system server will start, and then the batch file will automatically get started, and it will start your AM. That we
So it's not.
normally do for our physical servers and all. We can create a script, we can make it. It's up to you.
Okay.
It's not basically some restrict, but your Mule server restrict. So that's how you should put your server.
Correct, correct. Mm,
That
yeah,
will be
Prithvi
best
is right.
practice.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Once it's done, we'll just see the insights we have had. Yeah, it's there. 1848, 3 minutes back. We'll just go to the monitoring. It will take 5 to 10 minutes to show that monitoring tab for that specific server. The Meetup node application is available now in the resources for this specific environment. We'll just select this environment and click to the view. So guys, we can see the monitoring for plugin is available for this server.
Now, any charge we have to pay to Mulesoft if we do this plugin, or it's a free of cost?
This plugin is free, of course. That depends on the on-prem licensing only. The charge will be only for that licensing, but this plugin is free of cost available.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing, as per the environment, we have to configure our these things like the monitoring applications. Like right now, we are doing for sandbox. If we move to the
Yeah. One second. Yeah.
SIT stage and prod, so we have to do configure accordingly, right?
It will automatically. It will what will happen? It will
Mm-hmm.
automatically ask the environment based on the
Mm-hmm.
server. When we are deploying the application based on the server, it will just ask for the environment, and based on the environment, we can select the resources. What is the server?
Okay, what I'm saying is, right now we are doing for sandbox environment. If
Yeah.
we do for SIT environment or stage and prod, so we have to configure all this again, or no? Or it will
For
automatically
this
get.
server, we will install only one.
Okay,
It will for different environments. It will take, but for one server, we will install once.
okay.
Gaurav, one question here. Like the resource will be only one particular application, or can we do multiple applications?
It will take multiple applications. One resource, like this is the one application in one environment. If in the same server we are installing n number of application, it will display here the application names. We can select that applications.
Okay, multiple as well.
Yeah,
Hi.
we are.
Just to add to that, yeah, I think Gajendra, you were saying right. See, we can install only once. So currently is a trial account, right? You could have only the one environment, which is created sandbox. So irrespective of the number of the environments, it could be your UAT, SAT, or even the prod server also. You have to
Mhm.
install only once in the your on-premise server, but it is directly linked with the licensing one. So the licensing file will make a role here. It has to be registered, then only it will enable for the prod servers. So that way they'll try to control the usage.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but installation part is only once.
okay. Thanks, Rajesh.
Okay.
Oh, and also for the AM as well, right? Installation is only for one.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So inside the monitoring, we can see about the overview, like the inbound request, outbound, the CPU utilization, heap utilization, thread count. Same for the inbound request. From the inbound, we can see the average request time, average response time, or number of endpoints. How many endpoints are there? What is the average response time, minimum response time, maximum response times? Same for the outbound request. The performance, average response time. So But is response time by HTTP endpoints. If we have multiple endpoints, it will visible all the endpoints here. If we want to go only for the failure request, JVM, all the garbage collection counts, this will be visible here. And last is the infrastructure, which will include the heap utilization, JVM used, all the thread counts. These things will come into the infrastructure. And the another important thing is we can see this monitoring tab for cloud for 30 days max. But if we are creating a separate application for the monitoring, we can preserve the logs and we can visible that logs for the monitoring. But here we can see up to next of 30 max to 30 days.
30 days on licensed version also, or on the trial version?
To the license version as well, Prithvi.
Okay.
So this is the part, and if we want to create a custom dashboard, that also we can create based on a requirement. Okay, guys, any question, any doubt here? I hope everyone is able to done up to this setup.
There is a question from Deepak.
Okay, give me 1 second. Maybe a topic you will cover, but one of the issue we faced is JVM utilization, CPU memory is an overall issue. It's a specific tracking. So Deepak, there are two things. First is like the first thing is depends on the system. Like if it is you're using the hybrid system or you're using a different part of the servers. Like if you're running on some other servers like the AWS or that. If you're running on that, then it will completely depend on that. If you're running on hybrid of the Mulesoft itself, in that case, there are two ways. One is the monitoring. We can track that it is specific hybrid with on-prem. Okay, in that case, there are two things. Either we can use this monitoring tab, which will provide this limited information, or the same thing if we want to see using the API specific format, then one monitoring API specification is there, where we have the APIs for this. We can collect the data and we can update in our servers based on our requirement. Like we have to write a script for this. Based on our script, we are just fetching the data, how much it is required for when it is required, when it is updating. So these details we can capture and we can set the alerts for this. Okay, and another thing is we got new alerts for the same, like if we want to see the number of requests, like new alerts, basic alerts. If we want to see some new alerts are added into this, one is the CPU utilization, memory utilization. Yeah, sure, Deepak, I will share the references. We have a CPU utilization, a memory utilization, and thread count. These are three basic alerts has been added. If we want to see if the CPU utilization is going up to 80% within last 5 minutes continuously, or last 10 minutes continuously, we can set the basic alerts. These are the new alerts which is added to the alert part. The same for memory utilization and thread count. These are alerts which came to understand the server health, like memory is going up or thread is going to up. That's it.
And this alert would answer Deepak's question as well, right? Like it can be done both at server level and application level. So
Yes,
on the API level, tracking can also be done using these alerts at least. It cannot be direct, but at least you will get a passive support from that alerts.
we have to set up that based on requirement. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Guys, any question, any doubt here? I hope for everyone the monitoring tab is visible. If it's fine, then we are going to our presentation back. So the step which we have followed is we went to the monitoring tab. In the settings, we select the hybrid tab to identify the AM setup. Then we have selected our node, and then download am.zip is available. We have downloaded this zip file. So we always use we will use this link until this version is not updated, or best way is we always go and we will download am.zip. It will download the latest plugin, and then we will copy this am folder inside the Mulesoft standalone server. Once we are in Mule home directory, we have run this install command, and then we have restarted the server. Once it is running, then we have set up the Anypoint monitoring, and in next 5 minutes we are able to see the Anypoint monitoring metrics in our server. So these are the basic steps which we have followed. Any question, guys? No questions? Okay.
How many of you really did this process which Gaurav was driving now? Okay. And good thing was from the demonstration we got the Linux part, and from the slides we got the Windows part. So maybe if you are having any confusions, that could also help you to go further.
Ashutosh, we are not able to see the logs here. Logs will be visible in our server itself. If we want to see the transaction, we can go to the inside tab inside the runtime manager. Go to the application, go for inside, and we can see the transactions. So the transactions we can see, but logs is not visible. If we want to go for flow monitoring, we can go for this, but logs will be applicable. Logs will we are able to see into the server itself. Log files is there, and for transporting this logs, we have custom metrics. Custom metric.log is there, so we can use this row API metric, custom metrics, and v2 metrics. So these three things are there which we can use to transport the logs. Is it possible to transport logs to Anypoint monitoring? Inside the monitoring, we cannot transfer the logs. We can just see about the monitoring information. Log information is not visible into the monitoring part. if we need to send these logs, we need to create a different service, or we will create a separate service like Splunk or others where we can send these logs. Where we can create our own single platform where we can see monitoring services as well as we can see the logs that we have to create.
So wouldn't it be like monitoring will show you the metadata of the transactions, but not the actual data?
Monitoring is yes, we can say metadata of applications like if we will say about the CPU utilization and the other information, it will just show. We can fetch from the API as well. We can capture that and we can just show that, but it will not show the actual logs.
Yeah,
Exactly, more like the
right.
performance data. Yeah.
Correct.
But if you want to see in single application, you can create your own modified application or customized application where you can see the logs as well as you can see the performance data. Okay, that's it.
Any
Like
questions, please?
next, Prithvi, it's hands back to you again for the trivia questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I'm just stop sharing my screen.
Okay.
Gaurav, one question I have. So, suppose if we have multiple EC2 instances and we have deployed our development, staging, and production server over to the different EC2 instance, then we have to do this AM setup for all the servers.
Yes, this is completely depend on the servers. If servers are on different regions, then we have to set up this for all the servers.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? No. Okay. So let's go to trivia. Kahoot is the platform that we use for trivia questions. So can you go into
No,
this?
no, no, no. Sorry, Prithvi. I have
Okay.
updated the questions to you directly. Can you please?
Okay. Okay. Then I need to stop this and go back. Okay, so here goes our first question. I'll put it into the Shindy.
Your screen, Prithvi. We are not able to visible.
Oops, I'm sorry, I was on mute probably. So, okay, so I hope you are able to see now. Okay, so here is the first question. I just pasted in the chat. How to see the total number of requests per application in a specific time frame? Where can we see that?
Prithvi, can you please share your screen? Let me share my
I'm
screen.
not able to see your questions where it is.
Okay, fine. Let me put it again in the normal
Uh,
chat.
Prithvi, can I?
Yeah,
Prithvi, let
it's
me share
yellow.
my screen. Yeah.
Oh, there is a lag. Like I'm not able to see that your question.
No, no issues. Guys, is it visible now?
Yes, it is. It is. It is. But nobody knows this answer. Yeah.
Uh, okay, it is quite simple. We got the correct answers. Prithvi, please note down. Going to the next question, guys.
Yep.
Three, two, one. Second question: where and how we check the CPU utilization and heap used for specific application? Okay, here we have multiple answers. We will just go one by one. Anypoint monitoring inbound, downbound performance and infra. Guys, if we will see about the question CPU utilization and heap, I'll just share my screen. Runtime manager. Monitoring. There are two ways like we can see. The first is overview, which we didn't mention in the options. And fourth, if we are second is we are going for infrastructure. Here we can see JVM utilization, heap used, that we can see into the infrastructure. The second, few people just commented like it is in performance. So we are just going to the performance. Performance will include the Mule messages, average response time, or what is the average response time for inbound or HTTP endpoints. Like for all the endpoints, we can see the average time. Here we are not able to see the heap utilized or memory utilization part. Inside the performance, we don't have. And few people's also commented B option, right? B was for outbound. No, outbound also don't have this information. This detail is available only two places. One is the infrastructure and another is for overview tab. Okay. Okay. The third question will be subjective type, that explanation is required. So guys, if you knows about the third question, then please comment. For top three comments, we will say who will give the correct answer. Either top two, we will say who will be the correct answers. Okay, going to the next question, three. And guys, please reply on the comment if you know the answer. You can reply anything like, answer A, B, C, whatever you want to type, you can type, but you should give the explanation for that. Okay, we are going for the next question. Three, two, one, go. How to install the AM setup for hybrid servers? Yeah, I was expected this Gajanan from you.
Nice. All right. So anybody else, or I'm the only one?
As of now, you are the only one in the race.
Okay. All right.
Anonymous winner.
Okay. So
They
first of
explained.
all, yeah, we have to install. We have to download the EBS Enterprise server. So I have to go with the step by step, or what to do?
Step by step.
Okay. So yeah, first of all, like it's just a summary of Gaurav's meetups, the session that he already. I will cover off most of the things. The first we have to download the enterprise as a standalone server. Then we have to extract it, and then we have to run the command to start the server, and then we jump into our projects. We have to create a project and create a jar of it, and then right, you can copy your jar into the apps folder, or you can uh, do the console, and then go to the monitoring tabs, and then setting. Then you can uh, add your node there, and you will have a zip file there, right? That is am zip. And then you have to unzip there, and after unzip, like, you have to go to the bin folder, and you have to run some sort of commands that you will see on the console. You can copy and paste it, and then you have to, when you run what you say, am will start, then you have to restart your application again, and then you have to start your am again, and then you can test your application, and you can see their metrics. So these all the high level steps we have. Am I
Great.
right?
Yep. Great.
I hope so. I cover almost all the steps.
Yep. It's. I think it's done from everything. We got the three winners. And now, guys, one more thing I just want to come up with that. Like, this is the open platform. If anyone is interested for next topic, you can please connect with Rajesh or Prithvi or myself. You can ping anytime. We will be available, and we can arrange for the next meetup soon. And Prithvi, again, it's come up to you. You can just go for the closing statements.
Yeah, sure. So even before that, I just have one question to our audience. Maybe you would have already used Visualizer and monitoring for the Cloud Hub versions. So do you see a major significant difference between Visualizer and Anypoint monitoring, or what exactly is the difference that you noticed?
So visualizer will give you the graphical view of your application from start to end. What are the different applications you have, like experience layer, process layer, and then system layer. That will give you the graphical way, and in between, what services you are calling. So it will give you the high level UI. I can say the graphical presentations of your application, and monitoring is more over your application metrics, the backend, your applications, how it's playing it, and based on that, you can take your action to alert, or you have to uh, uh, how you gonna use that metrics, right? So this is what, in the short summary, I can say.
Any other insights on that? Okay, so before we go to the next step, Karan Sharma and Gazanand, could you please give me your email addresses? Okay, and once the meetup is over, you will get a feedback form to you. So please make sure that you are providing your valuable feedback so that we can improve and we can also help you with the right content. And also give us your suggestions for the next meetup, like what exactly would be the topic you are interested on. And best advantage here is that if you are interested to be a speaker to talk about any interesting topic, you can also do that. So you're all open for everything here on the meetup community. So make sure to utilize it, and we all can learn together. That's the ultimate motive. So please reach out to either Gaurav, myself, or Rajesh for the next setups on that. We're all open for anything on that.
And guys, the step-by-step guide for this Anypoint monitoring, we will share by end of this. We will share this link on the meetup site itself with the presentation and video link. We will share
Yeah.
this link as well.
And Prithvi and Gaurav, this is my first Bangalore meetup, and it's been a great pleasure to meet you guys. And it's been a great session, Gaurav. So that even I can remember all these steps because of the simplicity you have provided in this session, and it's a great demo, and it will help you a lot when we do in this practice in our projects and all. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for all these informations and demo.
Thank you, Gajanand. Our main motto is to clarify everything by step-by-step guide with hands-on practice, because we have seen in most of the meetups, the people are just using the presentations a part of demo sessions. So we have just started the demonstrations a part of PPTs.
Yep, yep, yep.
Thank you.
Advantage with that is that even during our previous demonstrations, we faced some issues as well, and we got to know what exactly is the resolution. Because that's
You
when
are
you get the practical expertise, right, and not with the slides alone.
You are 100% correct, Prithvi. That is the some gap we see. Like we got the what we say the theoretical knowledge, but when we come into the practical, a lot of challenges we face. So that will this type of approach, it will help a lot in future when we have the session knowledge first and then demo first. It will it's a very, we can say it's a proper cook dish for us,
That's
right?
great.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. So, wish you all a happy evening, and you are gearing up for the new Monday again tomorrow.
Yeah, and the last thing, guys, after the meetup, you will get the link for